Well, we're learning from law enforcement that they believe it is a ghost gun, possibly assembled from a 3D printer. And we want to talk about how this is even possible.
So they think they found the guy who allegedly shot the UnitedHealthcare CEO. And guess what? He had a ghost gun on him. Of course, the second they heard this word ghost gun, the media and the anti-gun crowd went into overdrive. It was like they hit the jackpot. But here's the thing. If this is the murder weapon, it lines up with what I said before. The guy used what looks like a Glock-style pistol with a suppressor. More than likely, the gun he was caught with is probably a polymer 80 with some stippling on it, and it had a Glock slide on top of it. But here's the part they're not telling you. Whether it's a ghost gun, a store-bought Glock, or even a rusty old revolver, the crime still happens. The gun didn't pull the trigger, he did.
Yeah, well, Andrew, I mean, ghost guns are becoming an increasing problem for law enforcement. They are untraceable. They are easy to get from the internet. They're relatively cheap and pretty simple to assemble. And as you mentioned, there are cases and instances really all over the country where ghost guns have been used. Now, in some places, like in New York, ghost guns are specifically illegal. There are laws dedicated to ghost guns, but on a national scale with the ATF, there are some ghost guns that are perfectly legal.
Now they're trying to scare everyone by saying it might have been a 3D printed gun. Honestly, I don't even think it was. My guess, he bought it off the street. Could he have printed it? Sure, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The guy shot someone, and the fact that the gun didn't have a serial number isn't the reason he committed the murder. And let's get real for a second. This dude didn't even ditch the gun.
Swecker says he can't believe the person of interest didn't get rid of it.
I mean, that's one of the things about the gun is you can just get rid of it. It's easy to make, easy to get rid of.
Think about that. The whole argument against ghost guns is that they're untraceable, so criminals can use them and then dump them to avoid being caught. But this guy, he's carrying the gun around in a backpack like it's no big deal while running from the cops. If he was willing to keep the gun on him, you can't tell me he wouldn't have done the exact same thing with a regular serialized Glock from a gun store. This is what drives me crazy. The media and the politicians are acting like the fact that this is a ghost gun, so-called it, somehow changes the entire story. It doesn't. A gun is a tool. It's metal and plastic. That's it. The problem isn't the tool, it's the person using it. But they don't want to focus on that because it doesn't fit the narrative. And here's the kicker. This guy didn't even have a criminal record.
And we just went over, his pedigree, his education, Ivy League educated. And so I was asking myself, is this a sophisticated criminal or not? For ghost guns, you can just follow the instructions online and assemble these weapons, right? Yes, you probably have to have a base knowledge, but anyone could do it.
If he wanted to, he could have walked into a gun store, passed a background check, and bought a Glock legally. But no, they're gonna latch on to the fact that it's a ghost gun and use it as another excuse to push more laws that won't do a damn thing to stop crime. So let me ask you this. How does a serial number prevent someone from committing a crime? It doesn't. All it does is give the ATF something to look at after the crime happens. It's not a deterrent, it is a barcode. And if someone's really determined to cover their tracks, they'll just scratch it off anyway. Criminals don't care about serial numbers. They don't care about background checks. They don't care about laws. And let's be honest, banning ghost guns isn't going to stop criminals from getting guns. They'll just get them another way. All this talk about ghost guns is nothing but smoke and mirrors. It's about creating fear. It's about making people who don't know much about guns think there is an epidemic of untraceable weapons flooding the streets, when in reality, most gun crimes are committed with regular serialized firearms. But the media doesn't care about that. They care about scaring you because scared people are easier to manipulate. And that's the real goal here. Control. They want to chip away at your rights little by little, using cases like this as their excuse. Today it's ghost guns. Tomorrow it's suppressors. The next day it's semi-autos. The end game never changes. Look, I get it. A story like this is shocking. A CEO gunned down in broad daylight. It's a tragedy, but blaming the tool instead of the person is not the answer. If we want to prevent crimes like this, we need to address the real issues: mental health, poverty, the breakdown of communities, not focus on what kind of gun was used, because at the end of the day, banning ghost guns isn't going to make anyone safer. It's just going to make it harder for law-abiding citizens like you and me to exercise our rights. And that's the part they don't want you to think about. So this is where we're at, people. The blame game is in full swing, and the media is going to ride this ghost gun narrative until the wheels fall off. So what do you think? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. But before you do that, I want you to hit the link in the description section of this video, because right now, shop.mrcolionnoir.com, we are having our annual Christmas holiday sale. So right now on shop.mrcolionnoir.com, everything's 15% off when you use the code DEFENDAMERICA. All of our hats, our hoodies, our shirts, all of our drinkware, and all of our designs are 15% off. Also, what's 15% off is my favorite Bluetooth wireless in-ear hearing protection, the AKT1 Blackouts. I absolutely love these things, and I can't stop talking about them because they are literally a game changer for me as somebody who likes to go to the range and listen to music while I shoot. See, the beautiful thing about these things is I can listen to music and I can take phone calls and still protect my hearing. It has active noise blocking and has spatial awareness, so I can hear what's going on around me, but then if a noise level gets too high, it'll immediately block out the level that is dangerous to my ears. So, also, we have the flip lock residential lock, which is also on sale at shop.mrcolionnoir.com for 15% off when you use the code DEFENDAMERICA. I actually went out and I shot this thing to see if it would actually hold up against an AR-15, and it did. The video's there. This is just, I was surprised because my good friend who came out with this product, I was like, I think this thing is gonna shoot straight through it, and lo and behold, it didn't. So there you have it. But the flip locks are also available at shop.mrcolionnoir.com. So hit the link in the description section and take advantage of the sale before it ends. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you, and we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.